Exiles TV. How are you? I'm Bill Perfetta. He's Kevin Gallagher.
Yeah, guilty.
Glad to have you with us on this Monday morning. Looks like we got rain coming all over Louisiana for Monday morning at the very least. It should clear out by Monday afternoon, and by the time you watch the replay at 10 o'clock.
We're expecting rain again tomorrow.
Are we?
Yeah, the forecast I saw this morning from Ashley Ruiz at Channel 33 said actually a better chance of showers for tomorrow than today.
It actually does a very good job.
Yep. They have two very good meteorologists at New Star in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
That is Channel 33 and 44.
Yeah, they do a very nice job. They do a very nice job.
Well, they have more than two. I forgot all about Jesse Gunkel.
Jesse, he's the head man, the big
chief meteorologist. He knows his job too.
He's the chief meteorologist.
I always have been fascinated by meteorologists, weather people. And you know, in television, there are two kinds. There's the weather guy that's just the weather guy. And he learned how to do the gesturing and the gesticulating and learned how to operate the technology, but doesn't really know the science.
Yes.
And there are some that have had long and very healthy and prestigious careers at that status.
Yes.
So I'm not going to take anything away from them. If you're good on camera, you're good. Then there are those who have actually studied meteorology, and to them I tip my hat because that's confusing as hell.
Well, it is, and you know, it's again, you know, there's very little other than the actual terminology that is 100% correct all the time. You know, it's a hard thing to learn. You know who the school nearby that has one of the finest meteorology programs in the nation and turns out a lot of television meteorologists is Mississippi State.
You're kidding.
They a lot of their graduates go on to television stations in markets big and small. And in fact, Carla Gugino, was that her name, who was recently at 3344 like 2 years ago?
Oh, Carla Pisano.
Pisano, yes. I believe she
Carla Gugino's an actress.
Yeah, Carla Pisano.
One of the most beautiful women on the planet.
Was a Mississippi State alum in their meteorology department. And there are a couple of others that have passed through here and moved on to other things. But I've actually seen pictures of their operation. And you would think that you were walking into the Weather Channel with their instructional studios and all that. They have invested big time in that program there.
Well, good. If I ever know anybody that wants to go into that, that's where I'll recommend them. Go to State.
And our other meteorologist buddy, Jay Grimes. Did you see?
Jay Grimes.
Jay is a great guy. Did you see his post reading Green Eggs and Ham?
I did.
And he was
wearing the Cat in the Hat.
Well, and he also had on the striped socks. And he had his pants hiked up so you could be sure to see them. Jay, I never thought of Jay as susical, but I believe he's very susical. He enjoys those kind of things.
He's susical. Is that a legitimate term?
I think it is. Why would it not be? If you are like Dr. Seuss, you could be Seuss-like, or you could be susical.
A little bit of serious news going along with COVID-19. Baton Rouge is mourning the death of 38-year-old Antoine Hodge. Antoine Hodge, a opera singer, up and coming. He probably would have been a huge success had he been able to stay in the career. He was with the capital city's Opera Louisiana. He joined in 2019. He died just a few days ago in an Orlando hospital. He'd been flown there to receive specialized treatment for COVID-19. This disease, COVID, this virus, is so strange in the way that it will infect some and just make them a little uncomfortable, and infect others, and bring them to the verge of death or over the threshold. And they haven't figured out what it is that makes some people more susceptible. Very young, healthy people are dying from COVID-19, and some very old and not so healthy people are coming through it with body aches and fever and nothing else. It's a huge medical mystery.
On a similarly sad note, Robert Ruffino of Baton Rouge passed away early this morning from complications of COVID-19. Now you've seen him on television with his family. His family operates Sherwood TV and Appliance. Used to be called Sherwood Magnavox. But Robert,
they were a big sponsor of yours.
Yeah, they were. They did commercials with me many years ago. But Robert also is a lymphoma survivor, and he took the lead on bringing the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's Light the Night program to Baton Rouge many, many years ago. Now, they couldn't have one because of COVID in the last year. But he was a very, very fit man. I don't think he had even gotten to 60 years of age yet.
No, he didn't strike me. He wasn't even my age.
But I think it's an example of, you know, if you have recovered from a serious cancer, particularly one that is in your immune system like lymphoma, you still are very, very at risk for a bad outcome with COVID-19. And it's a shame. Robert was very involved in the community, and to his wife Rhonda and their kids and the rest of the family, our condolences. But as you say, with this virus, you know, things that have happened to you 40 years ago can come back and bite you in the butt. I want to talk a little bit about the vaccination program and things like that when we return on Exiles TV.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Desire in your eyes, but you can't keep it in your heart. 'Cause misery loves company. 'Cause misery loves company. Cold and hungry like a dog in the street. I get a raw deal every.
Exiles TV. I'm Bill Profiti. He's Kevin Gallagher.
Yeah. How you doing?
As we talk about 2 COVID deaths before we go to the break, and you know, God knows there are more that we are not aware of, and it has really been a focal point in a lot of ways. Most recently, in the fact that there is vaccine being distributed. And Kevin, I don't know about you, but I was absolutely appalled when they made this big pronouncement that people who smoke and people who vape, and I can't figure that out, are going to go to the front of the line for vaccines now. Now, as an aside, DH needs to hire somebody that can speak in front of a camera and not look like a complete moron. Let's start with that. This doctor, whatever her name is, well, we don't care about how they came to smoking. Well, your department
came to smoking.
Well, your department and your predecessors have, as health authorities have told us for the last 20 years, that smoking is a very bad thing. It's very detrimental to your health. And that there are a lot of things that don't happen if you are a smoker. For example, if I were still a smoker, which I wasn't at the time of my heart attack, and my heart could not have been repaired since I was over 60, they would not put me on the transplant list because I was a smoker. Because that's a medically prudent thing to do, because they don't want to waste an organ, because they know chances are I'd go back and pick them right back up the minute I came out of that hospital. But we have been told that smoking is bad, and the deaths from smoking are 100% preventable.
Just stop smoking.
Yeah, or don't start in the first place.
Yeah, or don't start in the first place.
But anyway, I think a lot of people were like, yes, I realize if you're a smoker, if you smoke a pack of cigarettes a day and you get COVID, your lungs are going to take that disease a lot harder than somebody who has never smoked in their life. But I'm going to use you as an example, if you don't mind. Before I use Kevin as an example, I believe this is purely political, because what has been the drumbeat? What has been the drumbeat for the last 5 weeks? The African community is underserved. And we have had, in our community, pop-ups that are being held at churches that are predominantly African American, in a predominantly African American, where anybody can come and get a vaccine.
There's one going on today at Walmart at Cortana Mall.
You don't have to be over 65 or 75. You don't have to have, pre-existing conditions.
Just drive up and get one.
Okay? And I looked it up. The largest prevalence by percentage of population of those who still smoke cigarettes are, guess what?
African Americans.
So I think that
I'm looking at you, Clarence.
I think that there is a certain political bent to slipping that in. And it's not sitting very well with a lot of people. And again, I want everybody to get vaccinated. The pop-up is doing what I think should have been done from the very beginning. I got 20,000 doses. I got people to administer.
First come, first served.
Get in line.
First come, first served.
Yeah.
So let me understand this. You don't like that smokers are being sent to the front of the line?
No, I do not.
But smokers are more likely to suffer horrible consequences if they're infected with COVID.
So are people with high blood pressure, but they're not included.
But by sending smokers to the front of the line, you're probably saving a lot of their lives. You make a good point with high blood pressure.
Yeah. I mean, here's the whole thing. You should not have a priority based on comorbidities. Obesity.
Well, then why do older people first?
Well, exactly. Now, in my opinion, and only my opinion, they should have done immediate vaccines for every frontline healthcare worker and every first responder.
Didn't they?
Well, but they had to phase the first responders in. They did nursing homes first, where they were already isolated.
I thought that was kind of dumb.
You think?
Dude, nursing homes, nursing homes, you're living in quarantine by definition.
But why? Because at the very beginning, the first deaths were in nursing homes, and you had a lot of people saying, I couldn't see my grandma when she died, and they're weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth, and we all know that old people vote. So it was a political thing.
Old people vote more often than young people.
Yeah.
More consistently. But it's
Some
also,
vote after
dude,
they
you can't tell me that your heart wasn't crushed a little bit when you heard stories about people that lost the matriarch of the family and they couldn't be by her side.
Sure, but that has nothing to do with science.
Okay, but nobody should have to die alone. I mean, that's
another discussion we can have at another time if you wish. But that has nothing to do with why that becomes a priority, because people's hearts are crushed. Well, you know what? When I see a dog laying on the side of the road, my heart is crushed. Should I have a priority to go get my shot? No. That's plain political pandering and BS. I almost said it all. Sorry. Almost said it all. But I agree with this pop-up, okay? I don't agree that everyone is not allowed to do a pop-up. Our Lady of the Lake, Baton Rouge General can't do a pop-up, but because it's in the African American community, they can do a pop-up. But that's the way.
But there's nothing to stop me from going to the pop-up today if I want to.
There's nothing to stop you from doing that, but you understand the intent, right?
Yes. I understand the political optics.
Yeah. Just like even though I am an Our Lady of the Lake patient, there would be nothing to stop me from going to Oxnard to get a vaccine if they just had to throw the doors open and everybody come.
We've been told along the way that part of the reason that the African American community in the capital region, I can't speak for the whole state, but the African American community in the capital region is underserved is because they are mistrustful of the virus and mistrustful of the vaccine, and a lot of them just ain't gonna do it.
Well, that is correct too.
Bringing a pop-up, I don't think is gonna change minds. Just, to me, if I'm one of those, no,
Hey,
vaccine
Kevin,
ain't going to do it. Knowing that there's a pop-up just down the road is not going to change my mind.
It changes the optics, though. And
well, at least we're trying.
And it gets the elected officials from that area to shut up and get back in the truck, as I like to say.
At least they're trying.
But there is a point to all this, and I really was very upset by this smokers thing. As someone who battled cigarette smoke for 20 years in my life and who quit without any medication, cold turkey, just quit 27 years ago, and it's the best thing I ever did in my life. I don't like this. And I was going to let it go until I got a letter. This is somebody who obviously knows me because it was sent to my personal email account, but it's anonymous. They wanted to be anonymous, so they somehow found a way to blank out their email address and all that. And it nicely sums up our vaccine situation.
We have to do a commercial.
Yeah.
But would you read it for us when we come back?
I'm going to read it when we come back.
All right, then. We'll take a quick break, and we'll see what that letter has to say to Bill and us when Exiles returns.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Cantea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Cantea, your Italian dining will change forever.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Team Honda wants to thank you for once again making us Louisiana's #1 new car dealer by offering you never-before-seen savings. For the first time ever, get 0% financing up to 60 months on some of your favorite Honda models. Get thousands in savings right now at Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Hey, we're back. It is Exiles TV. Well, we last left, we were talking about COVID, how the crisis is being handled, how vaccinations are being handled here in the capital region. Bill told us you got an email sent to you anonymously. Which is interesting.
But it was not sent to my Exiles account, so it's someone who knows me. I can't determine from the writing style who it is, but if they wanted me to have this and not attach their name to it, that's fine, because it really does make some sense. So I'm going to read it to you now. Welcome to life as a non-essential human. Day after day, for almost a year now, we've been flooded with messages about essential workers, from medical professionals to grocery clerks, people that have been deemed essential to our existence. What does that mean to those of us who aren't essential? Especially those of us who have been pushed even further from societal value by being laid off. Okay, so I know it's someone who lost their job, all right?
Well, it wasn't me.
Totally not needed, totally useless in the world moving forward. Especially crushing to those of us who have spent a life trying to serve others, working for something beyond just bringing home a check. Now, as the vaccine rolls out, there are additional messages about our value or possible burden to the world. Priority is given to those who are essential and those most likely to cost us by the cost of their care and space they would take up at hospitals if infected. That's pretty key.
Wow.
Under 65, not serving as an essential function, not a smoker. We will get to you sometime when we have shots for the useless. Sitting home, benched by life, turning on the television may be the most soul-crushing thing you can do. There's nothing like watching a celebrity who has millions relating to their audience about how hard this time is. Oh, the boredom and strain of staying home in your mansion as royalty checks continue to roll in. They then interview other celebrities who they applaud for bravely continuing to contribute by creating a line of cards, jewelry, or works of art that only have value on the market because of their names. They applaud them getting a vaccine to set an example for others. Yeah, I'm amazed at how many celebrities who would not meet any of these priorities have gotten a vaccination so that they can set an example for others. They then smile and tell us anyone can do it, and we're all in it together.
That's the biggest lie of the whole thing, is that we're all in it together.
There are also the stories who lost to those who lost to COVID. Value of the deceased seems most often to be linked to the number of grandchildren, children, and siblings they have left behind. The act of reproducing gives value in the calculus of COVID. It's been hard enough to get up each day and try to move forward or try to find value again. Now I'm watching those around me get their vaccine and see new opportunities begin to open for them, and I just feel further left behind and of less value. Soon I expect to see not only travel and recreational activities open up to those who have been vaccinated, and job opportunities as well. How long before having been vaccinated allows you to go for the interview now becomes a factor in hiring. Here I sit, non-essential, too young to be expected to take up hospital space, too old to train for or get an essential job, no children or grandchildren who would be so destroyed by my conditions or bad choices, like smoking, that I'm at the back of the line. What happens as those in my social circle who are vaccinated maybe get a bit more careless since they now feel protected? Do I need to go into deeper lockdown as the world opens for others? I'm going to come back to that in a second. Thank you to those who are dealing with the hard decisions on how and when to respond to this pandemic, the decisions on how to best distribute the vaccine. This message is not an accusation. Instead, it's a call to action. There are countless Americans who are struggling not just with the loss of loved ones or lifestyle, but with a loss of self-worth. You have a silent army with you, not just underutilized talent, but with an actual need to feel seen and valued. Do an assessment of the assets available to you and find ways to utilize it. Give back purpose and value through meaningful work utilizing those skills, whether paid or unpaid. Give people an opportunity to shine and a reason to get up in the morning. Ask for service on task forces that will ultimately make our community better. A unique time calls for unique experience and viewpoints. Never before has so much talent and manpower had the time to contribute. People who have always wanted to do more to improve our community now have the time. Hopefully, a year from now, most of us will be back to jobs and lives that consume our time. Right now, there's an opportunity to utilize assets not usually available. Make the most of it. Give us all a true choice, not to just silently sit at home, but instead to really actively be in this together. And again, the point I wanted to go back to, and this has never been done, by the way, when you're dealing with contagious disease. It has never been done this way. If I have an age that gets me into a vaccination queue, and I have household members that are below that age, doesn't it make sense to make sure you hold the contagion down to vaccinate everybody in the household?
You would think.
And by the way, when I was a kid and they had polio vaccine, that's the way they did it. They insisted that everybody come to the community center. Everybody that lived in that house. And then years later, and of course I didn't need it because I'd had measles, when they did the measles vaccine. The same thing. So what you're doing is you are now setting up different households where, okay, Kevin's a cop. Kevin gets his vaccination. But Marianne doesn't. Kevin can still perhaps, we don't know, between the first and the second shot, carry the virus.
Yes.
The person in his household should get a vaccination. It's good practice. It's the smart thing to do, and you don't create all these outliers. And let me use you as an example again.
Okay.
Kevin's doctors have known for more than 2 months that he is going to need surgery with a general anesthetic for the surgery that he has planned on his neck. But they can't get him into a queue to go ahead and get both shots of the vaccine so that he knows when they take him into the operating room, he hasn't been exposed to COVID in a way that will affect him.
If they call me today and say, Kevin, shot number 1 tomorrow morning, I'll still be, because I'm in surgery a week and a day.
But now,
a week and 2 days from now.
If you were a smoker, that would make your anesthesia more risky anyway.
I get moved to the front of the line.
But you'll get moved to the front of the line tomorrow. It's still not enough time. But you wouldn't have been moved to the front of the line a month ago when they knew you were going to have general anesthesia. The priority system is a mess. And there are too many political fingers in the pie.
Boom, what you just said, right there.
And you do have people like, I don't have any idea who wrote this, but it's someone I know and knows me well enough to have my personal email address. They have lost their job and they have skills that they would like to use for the good of the community, maybe even in terms of distributing this virus vaccine, but they can't. And they won't. And they're going to watch people who have basically harmed their health on a long-term basis go to the front of the line when they're sitting apparently near somebody in their sphere that has gotten the vaccines and they're not eligible. It makes no sense. There should be a community vaccination effort. They should come to Shenandoah, and Shenandoah is very big, so they serve as a good example. And you've got lots of nice schools and all that there that have auditoriums. And if there are 900 households in Shenandoah, and there are an average of 4 people in each household, they should come with 3,600 or maybe 3,800 doses ready to go on Saturday morning at 4 of the different schools, and everybody come and get your vaccination.
Yep, bring your whole household, first come, first served.
Well, I mean, when they were doing the nursing homes, it was stupid. They'd say, okay, make a reservation, and the pharmacist from Walgreens and CVS
Do you really need to know what that was all about? People love to control people.
But you know what? You can control them and do it right at the same time. If you call up and you say, hi, I'm Dr. Johnson, the chief pharmacist at CVS on O'Neill Lane. I will be coming to your nursing home on Friday. How many residents and staff members do you have? I will bring vaccines for all of them. Thank you very much. But all of this back and forth, it just delayed things. You know what? They kept saying, we want to put shots in arms. And go and put freaking shots in arms. Hey, you. Boom. You're done.
Are you, by the way, how are you feeling about now the Johnson & Johnson one shot? This 2 shots, 21-day gap. I always wonder, what the hell's that all about?
Well, it's a different type of science. I actually did some studying on this. If I had my druthers, if I hadn't already had my first shot, I'd get the J&J.
I'm hoping I can get the J&J.
These are all 3 really good drug companies. I mean, Pfizer, my God, you know, Moderna, they're all really good companies. What J&J did was they sent about, I think it was 150,000 different kinds of bacteria to a lab in Boston that bombards these bacteria with some sort of an electrostatic treatment, which turns them into virus-attacking particles that will attach to your immune system. It's not like the single-strand RNA thing that Moderna and Pfizer are doing, okay? Right. So it doesn't have to be refrigerated, and one shot does it. Now, it's a bigger injection. I know people are like, oh, I don't like shots, they hurt. This one's going to hurt more than the Moderna, because it's about 4.5 cc's from the looks of it when they're showing them drawing it up, and it's thicker. And that's because it doesn't need all of that high-end refrigeration.
I can deal with a little pain in my arm for a little while.
Get whatever vaccine they've got available for you folks, but I think that's going to be a game changer, because if you got 4 million doses of it out by next week, which is what they say they're going to have, you have 4 million people that are done. You don't have 2 million that are done and then have to wait again to get your 4 million done.
Well, I am hopeful for the day when all these lockdowns and restrictions can be lifted, because enough of America has been vaccinated that they can figure we've got something like herd immunity built up.
Yeah. And to this, and to the smokers being added as a priority. You know, I am not going to tell you how to feel. I've told you that it makes me angry, that I don't think we should have this kind of priority system. If you feel the same way, then you need to let people in government know that you think that that's ridiculous.
Well, dude, unfortunately, I think here in Louisiana, the guy at the top doesn't care too much about public input.
Well, but you know what?
I don't really think he cares what the public has to say, good or bad.
But you know what? His DH people better, because they work for the public, and he can only protect them so far. And I mean to tell you, what she is saying, oh, we don't care how they can. So what's going to happen tomorrow? You're going to have thousands of people in this state that are going to go buy a pack of cigarettes, get enough to have some smoker's breath, and go in and say, I'm a smoker.
I want a shot.
Now, what they don't realize is that it will go into your medical records that you're a smoker, and your insurance company is going to say, wait a minute, we need more money for your premium because you're a smoker. You know, it is the dumbest thing I have heard of since peach pits cure cancer. It is the stupidest thing I have ever heard of.
Really? Peach pits? We'll have to try them.
Yeah. Don't you remember the Laetrile scandal? That was peach pits.
It's time for another commercial break. We're going to take care of that. And when we come back, Mayor Cantrell. She got a thing for Russell Wilson going on.
She does. Right? Russell, baby.
Ooh, baby.
Come see me.
That's on the way on Exiles TV.
Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hello, Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Of all the auto brands on the road today, only one has been named the best auto brand for 6 straight years. That brand is Mazda. Come shop and save on the award-winning lineup of new Mazdas right now at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
On January 25, 2021, Pelican Broadcasting Network, LLC, licensee of KPBN LP Channel 11, RF Channel 11, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, filed an application with the Federal Communications Commission for renewal of its broadcast license. Members of the public wishing to view this application or obtain information about how to file comments and petitions on the application can visit www.fcc.gov/station search and search in the list of KPBN LP's filed applications.
Hey, we're back. It's Exiles TV. Now, we've talked a lot about COVID. Let's go into something that's a little more pop news, if you will. What do you want to call it?
It is interesting in the extreme.
This video that's come out of New Orleans with the mayor of New Orleans, LaToya Cantrell, making a ham-handed appeal for Seattle Seahawks starting quarterback Russell Wilson to come to New Orleans and play for the Saints. First of all, have you seen the video?
It's awful.
Who else has seen the video? Clarence, you seen the video?
No.
You need to see the video. I'm just going to say, this is just my opinion, she's creepy. She's really creepy in the video. Video starts with a Mardi Gras parasol twirling, and twirling really badly. You can tell that it's somebody who hasn't twirled a parasol. And then she emerges from under the parasol, and she's got this smile on her face that is scary because
she is one of
that's a face that's made to scowl.
Yeah, she's one of these people that shouldn't smile. It just
as my mother-in-law used to say, the smile never reaches her eyes. But I just don't know what to make of this. Where did she get this idea that Russell Wilson needs to come play for the Saints? Is there some news out of Seattle? Is Russell Wilson unhappy with the Seahawks? Has his agent said anything about shopping him around to another team?
He is at the point in his career where he can go free agent. And
all right, but a lot of people achieve free agency and still stay put.
So can we, if I put my mic next to this, can you at least hear the video if I roll the video here, if I put my mic next to it? Yeah, you want to hear it? All right, let's give it a try here. I'm going to, and of course I've got my mic all tucked like a good broadcaster.
Yep.
So, all right, now, let's see if we can make this happen so that you can hear it. Come on now. I'm hitting the play button. Is anything playing? It looks like it's going to play. Stand by.
I don't get this video at all.
Well, come on now. But anyway, she's begging Russell Wilson to come to New Orleans.
She's also, does she not understand that she's also saying, by the way, Drew, your services are no longer required? Now, do you think New Orleans fans in general all figure Drew needs to hang it up?
Well, I don't know, but the media station that is posting her video from Twitter, when you go to it, it has the Twitter video of the BRPD officer taking the 13-year-old into custody. They don't have LaToya's video.
Well, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
All right, let me see. Let me try it another way.
Is she talking yet?
No. I didn't want to see the takedown video. Let me try it another way. But anyway, here's what she said. I've been hearing the rumors on the streets. I don't know if they're true or not, but I just want Russell Wilson and Ciara to know that if these rumors are true, please know that the city of New Orleans will welcome you and your family with open arms.
However, pushback coming from no less than the mayor of Seattle, Jenny Durkin. I loved her tweet. She says, I love you, Mayor, but keep your eyes off Russ Wilson. His home is Seattle. # Go Hawks. And so, you know, Seattle's in the market for an NBA team. Don't make me go there.
Yeah, and it's not like a New Orleans NBA team hasn't moved before. Just
New Orleans has lost NBA teams before.
I just don't get. And LaToya, you know, one of the things that was negotiated about 5 or 6 years ago is when they were looking for additional cities to co-host New Year's Rockin' Eve on ABC, the franchise that Dick Clark pioneered. Billy Nungesser very successfully got the city of New Orleans included into the mix, which was really good. And they had, I think they run that show for about 4 hours.
Yeah, they run it for too damn long.
Yeah, so they want to hit 3 time zones. Yeah,
both coasts.
And they had good New Orleans entertainment and all that. And they did it from Jackson Square, and they also had locations at places like Tipitina's and things like that. They used the opportunity. Billy got it to where they were serving for the crew and cast and all that Louisiana seafood with famous chefs cooking it. Well, this year they had to move it away from Jackson Square because of COVID. They had to have it across the river, looking back at Jackson Square. But they still had a good.
They had to have it in Algiers.
Yeah,
on the West Bank.
But on that dock there, it's a good stage setup. So what she does is she's just got her and this whatever he is, Big Frida. And it's like, do you really want the world to see this?
Yeah, apparently they do.
It was, I don't understand where this woman's head is.
Well, I think that her city has bigger problems that she needs to address head on than can we get Russ Wilson to come play for the Saints. She's got rampant runaway crime in her city. Her infrastructure is falling apart. Have you driven in New Orleans lately? Yes, you have.
Yeah, it's awful.
You can't, I mean, every street has potholes big enough to bury a person in. And this is what's important to LaToya, is flirting with Russell Wilson in a video.
Not only that, but you know what? It shows that she knows nothing about business development and things like this. One of the first things that you do, and I used to do business development for the airport. It was part of my work with them. You would go and you'd speak to airlines about getting additional flights or maybe getting a new airline. And they look at you and they say, and this is before social media, but they say, you don't send out a news release, you don't do a press conference, you don't tell anybody, you particularly don't tell your mayor, your council members, your state representatives, because they're going to try to make political hay on it. And so I said, well, tell me why. I'd be happy to accede to your wishes. Because when you do this, we get hundreds of thousands of pain-in-the-ass calls from people who live in your city saying, when are you going to come? Are you going to fly nonstop to Mars? Is it going to be $49? That's why, and let me tell you what, I know of 3 cities that did not honor Southwest's request when they were negotiating Southwest Airlines to come in and say, they went and said, Southwest Airlines is going to be coming on April 22nd to Poughkeepsie. Ring, ring. Hi, it's Southwest Airlines. We're not coming anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, she doesn't even know the basics of things like this.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, while she's courting Russell Wilson and sending a message, I think, that says, Drew, we're all done with you. We're now thinking about our next starting quarterback. Drew, meanwhile, on Saturday,
and a weighted sled,
puts out a workout video that shows that he is in fighting trim like never before. So even though he may be thinking about retirement and his announcement may be coming, I think Drew wants people to know that it's entirely his decision, and if he decides not to retire, he's very much going to be the starting quarterback. Based on last season, I think Drew's got another season in him if he wants. I mean, he's going to need backup. He's going to need backup. I think that we've seen that Drew may not be good for a whole game.
Well, Taysom Hill, I think, is also, help me, Clarence, you're a better sports guy than I am. Isn't Taysom Hill also at free agent status right now where he can pack his bags? Because I'm thinking that he thinks that he's earned the right to at least be thought of as one of the quarterbacks next year.
I'm not sure, Joe.
And if I were him, I'd say, you know what? I can move on. If you want Russell Wilson, I can move on.
I just do not understand what motivates Ms. Cantrell to do things like this. I just do not understand it. Ma'am, you've got serious problems in your city. Serious problems in your city. The Saints are not one of them. Your problem is keep the Saints.
Well, and again,
do whatever you can to keep the Saints.
For God's sakes, do not mess around with whatever they may have in mind.
Mm-hmm. We're going to take another break. We're about is that to the end of the show, or is that just a break?
No, that's for the next break.
All right. Can we take it a minute early? Because I think we're played out on Mayor Cantrell. This is as good a time as any. So, quick break, and we'll be back to wrap things up on Exiles TV.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
We're making 2021 the year of savings, and it starts right now at Team Toyota. Come get a new 21 Corolla for just $189 a month, or get a 20 Camry for just $19,995. It's a year full of savings starting right now, right here at Team Toyota.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonCountryClub.com.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bugg Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hey, welcome back, Exiles TV. We thank you so much for being with us as we start another week, another month, as a matter of fact, in the month of March. So, we had 2 over the weekend, or 3?
Yeah.
Did we have one Friday as well?
We're trying to keep the body count.
We're talking about homicides.
We're trying to keep the body count up to date. We have a 29-year-old that was killed in a shooting on Prescott Road. And they have a suspect in custody, and that was on 10 p.m. yesterday.
Last night.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We also have the body that was found in a dumpster on Bard Avenue, and since the body was found, we don't know exactly when that killing took place.
We also have a person whose body was found about 7:20 Sunday night at the corner of South 12th and Charles T. Smith Drive.
He has now been identified as 23-year-old Keldrick Love.
Sustained multiple gunshot wounds. That seems to be, multiple gunshot wounds seems to be the recurring thing.
So that would be 3.
1, 2, 3 over the weekend. I have lost track now of the total, but it's climbing quickly. And I think that 2021 is going to be on track to beat 2020, which was a record year for homicides, for murders in East Baton Rouge Parish.
Well, and we also, I mean, these homicides did not occur in the last week or even in the last 8 weeks, but BRPD did announce the arrest of someone who was suspected of 3 shootings. And I believe of the 3 people that were shot, 1 died. So, I mean, the cops are doing the best they can, but what we have got is you can't babysit every guy that's got a gun in his pocket in 70802 and 70805.
No, you can't.
And I know the people who live there, the good people who live there hate it when I say that, but that's where it's happening, folks.
Well, not all, but those are, without a doubt, the 2
many
deadliest zip codes. So 70802, 70805 are the 2 deadliest zip codes in the city. And the greater number of the homicides occur within those 2 areas. So what's to be done? I've said this before, you know, we're critical of the mayor, we're critical of the police, but police can only respond after the crime has occurred. What can police do, in your opinion, to prevent people from committing murder?
Other than sitting, you know, putting a cop every 90 feet where they can watch the doorstep of 5 or 6 houses at a time and hope you see somebody come out of the house strapped. Yeah, as a practical matter, this is a community problem that gets solved by the community.
Mm-hmm. And when we say community, we mean the community, not the capital C community. Because I'm sorry, I realize that the majority of murders in East Baton Rouge Parish are committed on African Americans and a lot of times by African Americans. But I think the problem goes deeper than an African American culture. I think it's our general culture. I think that we have seen a coarsening of man's feeling toward man in the United States, and that makes people more willing to pull the trigger.
Well, we also, I mean, what do you want these folks to do? They're pumped up 17-year-old walks out of the house, and he's got a Glock in his hand that you know you didn't buy for him. And as vicious as they have become, you don't say, hold on there, I want to talk to you about what you're carrying in your hand, because you're going to get capped too.
It's very true. Now, one of the more heinous things that happened, a Tulane game over the weekend.
Oh, yeah. No, it wasn't a Tulane game. It was a high school game.
Was it?
It was a Tulane police officer that was working extra duty.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
And this is one of these rough, tough high schools, dare I say it, in the hood.
Told the guy, you know, you got to wear a mask to come in. So what's the guy going to a game with a gun? Why are you carrying a gun to a sporting event?
Because they carry guns everywhere.
But cop winds up shot and killed because he told the guy, wait, you got to wear a mask. And then, of course, we had the occurrence in Jefferson Parish. They may never find out why that guy just decided to start firing. 30-round clip, and he emptied it into the building and into innocent people.
Well, but to your point, that there is a certain segment in our community that is very, very quick to fire. And to your point that, boy, we're seeing more and more multiple gunshot wounds. Not a single gunshot wound,
That if you're going to pull the
wound.
trigger once, you're going to pull it 5 times.
But this is a new occurrence.
Empty the magazine.
This is a new occurrence. This is not like it was even a year ago. Maybe 1 or 2 shots fired. Now you're 18, 19, 20 shots fired.
Oh, God. In some of these neighborhoods, they say shot spotter cameras. It sounds like 4th of July. You can hear so many gunshots going on.
That does it for us, by the way. Thanks for being with us today. Clarence Buggs coming up next. We'll be back at 10 o'clock tonight. Until then, bye-bye.
Ciao.